Alright guys, what is going on? And finally, welcome back to our Legend Winnipeg Jets via GM mode. I took about a week off because you guys were pissed. There was comments that were saying, no, they're not going to watch the GM mode anymore, any of that stuff, because we did go after Nathan MacKinnon. And see, I wanted to make it quote-unquote realistic, and the whole realistic thing, it's hard to do. So really quick, what I want to say is this is going to be our last year in Winnipeg for a couple of reasons. We're going to do one more year, and why I want to do that is because I want to have one more GM mode until the end of NHL 15, and in that GM mode, we're going to have trade rules. We're going to do a complete roster overhaul. We're not going to have any legends. It's going to be a legit GM mode, because this one, obviously, there's been comments saying that, you know, the GM mode is too far gone. I mean, look at this. There's not even one original Winnipeg Jets player left, obviously, if you count Teemu Selanne and Nikolai Ehlers, and they were in the minors. So other than that, I mean, it's been fun. Don't get me wrong. The legend thing was really cool, but unfortunately, it's only going to last 6 years. And that was my fault. I screwed it up. Obviously, you know, those trades, I love making trades. That's my problem with GM mode, is I absolutely love making trades. So I think what we have to do is we have to have some trade rules. Maybe only make a trade at the trade deadline, or maybe only make a trade in the offseason, maybe offseason and trade deadline, no mid-season trades, because it is a bit ridiculous now that I took about a week off and I just looked at other people's GM modes, and there's people in year 8 that still have original players, and look at our team. We're only in year 5. We're only in year 6, and there's not one original player. Everybody has been traded for. So I want to apologize. Obviously, it isn't how I intended it to be. I mean, Trouba is an original player, and I guess Eric Comrie is a couple of original players, and I'm going to continue to play this one off camera. I'm going to continue to do it, maybe do like an update video every 10 years or whatever, but I'm going to play the full 25 years on my own, because personally, I'm enjoying it and I'm having fun. But for YouTube, it's not quite there, and I want to apologize for that, because it had a lot of potential and I guess I screwed it up. But what I want to say is thank you to everyone for, you know, supporting it and just watching it, because it is fun. It is fun. But for the next GM mode, we're going to have it until the end of NHL 15. So next one's going to be the last one for NHL 15, because the NHL 16 GM mode stuff has been starting to leak out, and there's been some features revealed, and I am so excited for that. But regardless, guys, let's, I guess, get into it here. So obviously, in the last episode, we traded Mark Scheifele for Nathan MacKinnon. It made sense in my head at the time. I guess I kind of jumped the gun, but Nathan MacKinnon, as a point-of-game player last year, coming to our team. Hopefully, you know, MacKinnon's going to be the player that Mark Scheifele couldn't be. For some reason, Mark Scheifele couldn't get over the 60-point plateau when they had Korea and Teemu. I mean, two of the world's best wingers. Like, it's crazy. I don't know what his issue was, but we're keeping the team. We're not making any trades for the trade deadline, and we're going into the playoffs. We're going to try to win our one last Stanley Cup with this team. So this actually might all be in one video, but regardless, I want to get it done right now, and I want to move on to the next GM mode. And like I said, the next GM mode, it's going to be big. There's a lot of stuff I have planned for it. There's going to be no legends. We're going to do a complete roster overhaul. I'm going to edit players. You guys are going to help me as well. I'll have a video up on that very soon. But I love doing GM mode, but it has to be realistic to a certain point. You know, there's trading for prospects and stuff like that, but it's different when you're the creator and you're the commenter. It's easy to say, oh, that was unrealistic, dislike. Yeah, that's very easy to do that. But as for the commentator, for the creator, as myself, I have to make it interesting. And I felt like, you know, making trades is obviously interesting, but there is people and myself who do like the realism thing. So we're already 5 minutes in here, and I'm already just and I've already just blabbled on about all of the realism part to it, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to see players like Josh Morrissey progress to be 90, 91 overall. You're not going to be able to see players like Eric Comrie. I'm going to do that on my own time, but we're going to get one more year completed here, and then we are going to call it quits on the Winnipeg Jets GM mode. But the next one's going to be awesome, I can promise you that. Quickly turn off the injuries, and then we will hop into, I guess we'll probably just do the regular season in one whole episode, but it's kind of interesting because we do have the Colorado Avalanche coming up in the first game. We actually have a home and home at them. It's going to be pretty cool seeing Mark Scheifele and it's going to be pretty cool seeing Mark Scheifele and Nathan MacKinnon playing as their old team. And Oliver Bjorkstrand starts it off right away, 1-0 on the first shot. All right, boys, let's go. First period, 2-0. Nikolai Ehlers and Oliver Bjorkstrand, the Rooks. Not really rookies anymore, but in my eyes, they're still Rooks. Period number 2, 3-2. Okay, Josh Morrissey. Nothing from the players who were traded for each other, MacKinnon or Mark Scheifele. But we got the lead. Oh, Eric Johnson ties the game up on the power play. Another PK. Oh my God, Matt Duchene. We ain't letting this one slip away from us, guys. Come on, MacKinnon. We need a big game from you here. Let's get a big debut. You're playing in the Pepsi Center. I know you're nervous, buddy. Come on, let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. Thank God it wasn't Mark Scheifele. Peter Forsberg makes it 5-3, and we get pounced on by the Colorado Avalanche. We had a good first 2 periods. We kind of fell apart after that. Jay Money had 3 points. There you go. Starting it off, Josh Morrissey, what a beast. But yeah, guys, this is going to be our last year. Love it or hate it. I mean, if you dislike that, I want to know why. If you like it, let me know why. I just want to make you guys be interested in the GM mode. And from the comments that I have seen, it seems like you guys are kind of throwing your hands in the air with this, and I totally understand. So let's focus on this right now. Focus on the now. Let's go. First period, 1-0. There you go. Jay Money, 4 points in 2 games. Period number 2. Oh, Nathan MacKinnon. There it is. Attaboy, Nathan MacKinnon, scoring on your old team in front of your new home fans at the MTS Center. They're chanting MacKinnon, MacKinnon. Jay Money gets another one, off to a hot start. 5 points in 2 games for the young stud. Hoping for him to have a huge year. It's going to be sick. Jay Money, though, gets the 3rd goal, and that's all we're going to need because Eric Comrie makes 30 saves for a big shutout. There you go, buddy. I'm just going to go all the way. We're going all the way forever. Just going to simulate our life away, just going on forever. But the NHL 16 GM mode, a little bit of features were released over the past week or the past week and a half, and it looks very, very, very cool. It looks promising. The thing is, though, it's going to be on next gen only, so I'm going to have to get used to that. No more Xbox 360, so I'll probably just actually get rid of my Xbox 360, to be honest, but I'm so excited for it. They have a bunch of new features. I'll leave a link in the description if you haven't seen any of the NHL 16 features yet. There's just been so many. Like, there's playoff beards, there's a bunch of stuff, a bunch of hut stuff. It's gonna be a really great game. I've heard lots of amazing things from it. Just gonna scout here. Don't really need to worry about that since this is our last year. We've had 6 great years. Won a cup, won a couple of President's trophies. Had some ups, had some downs. But I mean, I think it was a cool idea. The whole legend thing was a really cool idea. It was just too much. It was too much. There was players in free agency that shouldn't be in free agency because they had to make moves for, obviously, teams had to make cap room and had to make room for the legends. It had a lot of really cool things, but it had a lot of flaws as well. I'm stoked to continue playing it on my own time just to see what the legends do eventually end up doing. But as for this, it's going to be our last year, and we're 6-3-2. Philip Forsberg leading the way with 6 Genos. MacKinnon's got 9 helpers up against the Minnesota Wild, which has been one of our craziest rivals in this GM. We've had the couple against Nashville, losing some games. I'm not really going to worry about it though. We're just going to continue on here. We had a couple against Nashville, a couple really good rivalries. We played the Sharks once. We just had a lot of really fun rivalries with this team. All of the legends. John Beliveau there with Montreal, and what's with all the losses here? Come on. We got to switch out the Tendy here. Let's get McCollum in there. He's our backup. But one thing for the next GM mode, it's going to be as many years as I can make it. If we get to be to year 25, we're going to that. If we get to year whatever, we're going to the final year. We're pretty much going to go to the release date of NHL 16, like the night before I will be doing GM mode, and that will be the team. I'm not quite sure what team yet. I have a couple of ideas, but basically I'm just stoked for it. I cannot wait. Kind of wipe our hands clean here with the Winnipeg Jets. McCollum got the 3-1 victory, lost against the Carolina Hurricanes, so we can go ahead and swipe him out. I'm just honestly trying to get through this as fast as possible. Put Comrie back up there. If we make the playoffs, obviously awesome. If we end up winning the cup, that'd be a great note to go on, but I'm just kind of going with the flow right now. I'm not going to make any trades. We're going with this team straight out towards the playoffs. But back to NHL 16, there's a bunch of stuff as player morale. So, for example, if we were the Canucks, for example, if you were to go ahead and have the Twins and you were to trade one Twin to like New York and keep the other one, you were to trade Daniel to New York, but keep Henrik. Henrik would not play as good as he would with Daniel because their morale, they like to play together. They like Vancouver. It's going to be really, really cool to see how the player morale turns out for GM mode for next year. 8, 7, and 5. There's actually a bunch of other stuff that was listed. You guys can go ahead and read the article for yourselves. But it sounds awesome, and honestly, I cannot even wait for it. But we'll do one more GM mode, and it will be a thorough GM mode. When I say thorough, I mean a thorough GM mode. It will be completed to the max. This is going to be one that I haven't done, but it's going to be a challenge for myself. It's going to be a challenge for me to, grow players in the minors. Just don't trade, for Patrick Kane or Nathan McKinnon or anyone of that. It's going to be a challenge for me to grow players, not to go for just the young studs. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a learning experience for NHL 16 because once I read that article, I was like, wow, I gotta step my GM mode game up. This is clearly not working. We need to fix it, and this GM mode is definitely going to do it. But going into December here, we are 10, 8, and 6. Not an ideal record. We're not doing that great. 10, 9, and 6 here. It could be a lot better. We're only in December, though. We just need to string like 5 or 6 wins in a row, and then we should be okay. Nathan McKinnon leading the way with 11 goals. Paul Kariya, 20 helpers. I'll probably have the playoffs up right after this as well, or maybe the day after, because they do take quite a long time to edit, especially with this one being like going to be like probably north of like half an hour. So can you get some victories here? 12, 9, and 7. There you go. Big win against their rivals, Nashville Predators. I know Radulov is like 99 overall now. He has progressed to be just ridiculous. It was kind of cool though to see what legends progressed and what legends didn't, because I believe that Jean Beliveau is still the exact same 92 overall like I had him when I made him. But then you have a guy like Alex Radulov, who was 91 and then turned into be like 99. So I don't know how the progression works or why players didn't progress or why players did. But I mean, it's pretty crazy to see like a 99 overall player. And I think Gretzky's around 99 too. And then Lemieux is still only like 94, 95, which is strange because he's only went up like 1 or 2. Where Gretzky's went up like 3 and Radulov's went up like 8. So it's pretty crazy. But here is the winning streak I was talking about: 16, 9, and 8. We'll go to the end of this month and we'll quickly see where we're at for stats wise. I just want to get to the playoffs, do one last playoffs, and then send off our goodbyes to the Winnipeg Jet fans, to the Legend fans. It was a really cool idea. Maybe I have to bring it back sometime in NHL 16. I'd like to see another YouTuber do it, though. I'd like to see how they would do it, how they would do their GM mode with the Legends. I would like to see what Legends they created. I would definitely watch that throughout the whole thing for sure. But where are we? 18, 10, and 8. Just a random trade there. I guess it's just a bunch of prospects. Where are we? Team standing. So we're second in the Central, 1 point behind Nashville. Looks like all the points are in the Metro and the Atlantic for this year. Goals, Josh Morrissey is leading our team with 15 goals. Ovi's got 25 assists. We are not up there. 26 for Paul Kariya. Wayne Gretzky's leading the way. Tied with, actually a 3-way tie. Mike Bossy, Nicholas Backstrom and Wayne Gretzky. Points 51 for Tyler Seguin. The guy had like 65 goals last year. Just absolutely killing it. The Tampa Bay, though, Stamkos and Drouin, unreal. Wins Oscar Dansk is number 1. We are number 8. Actually, we're tied for number 6, but we're number 8 with Eric Comrie. Goals against, we are not up there. And save percentage, unfortunately, we're not up there. Let's get another month completed here of simulation. Go past the All-Star break. Then we'll go towards a trade deadline. Not going to do anything. And we're going to move right on to the playoffs. Hopefully go to the playoffs, crossing our fingers here. But I don't know what team to do. I was thinking of a pretty cool idea, and I kind of wanted to get your guys' take on this. So say, for example, I was to be the Edmonton Oilers, okay? I would input Noah Hannafin, I would input Jack Eichel, and a few other top 5 picks. But what I would do is, say, for example, I would choose the Edmonton Oilers. I would skip all the way to the draft where you would select Connor McDavid, be the Edmonton Oilers, have a number 1 overall pick like they do this year in the draft, and then continue with Edmonton or whoever I wanted to be. Say I wanted to get like the 2nd overall pick, I could go for Buffalo. Buffalo could be a very viable option. I was very close to choosing Buffalo for this GM mode and having Hasek as the goaltender, but let's go to Simon here. It doesn't really matter. We'll just go whoever. Forwards in the 0 for 6 weeks. But I don't really know what team I want to do. I want to do a team that needs not necessarily a rebuild, but kind of maybe a team like the Flyers who are kind of stuck in a rut. They have the players to do it. They just need, the extra kickstart. Maybe the Bruins, for example. The Bruins were once a powerhouse. Now, they missed the playoffs this year, which was crazy. It could be the Bruins. It could be anybody. Honestly, I don't have an idea, but if you have any idea, just, sprout maybe an early idea in my head. Go ahead and type down in the comments what team and why. Minnesota could be an option. Really, I could choose any of the NHL teams, aside from probably Detroit, Anaheim, and Toronto. They're all recent GMs that I just did, but it could honestly be anyone. It could be any team. I mean, every team has their positives. Every team has their negatives. I have definitely not decided 100% on what team I want to make. Have a couple of ideas, but nothing really concrete quite yet. But check out the All-Stars here. So Alexei Yashin, Sidney Crosby, Phil Kessel, Stamkos, Drouin, and Ovechkin, Vinny Prospero, Ron Francis, and John Tavares, Giroux, Johansson, and Ennis, and then Lidstrom, or what a sick pairing. Green, Ekblad, Keith, and Dalton Thrower in the cage, Hasek, and Tuukka Rask. Going on to our team here, going on to the blue team, which could possibly have a few of the Winnipeg Jets, but Pavel Bure, Gretzky, and Radulov. A complete legend line. Look at Radulov, 99. Hall, Seguin, and Kane. What a sick line there. Nathan McKinnon, there you go. This has made the All-Star team. Forsberg and Hall. Goudreau, Kessler, and Burns. Pretty sick line there. Weber and Blake. Jay Money made it along with Ryan Suter, Nazarov, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. And the goalie is Byzantine and my boy Eric Comrie. There you go. Had a couple of All-Stars there. We'll slow sim this game against the Avs, and then we will check our stats wise. I kind of want to, still take a look at how our team is doing. I just don't want to simulate just like crazy just for fun, but I do want to see how our team is doing. Looks like the first line's doing pretty good. McKinnon, Correa, they are leading in goals and in assists. Paul Correa almost has 40 helpers on the year already. There it is, 40 helpers, and McKinnon almost has 30 goals. So that's awesome. I mean, that's kind of exactly what I had planned. Unrealistic, yes, but was it an awesome trade? Yes, because McKinnon looks like to be the player that Correa and Teemu Selanne needed to play with, because, I mean, the stats, they show for itself. 30 goals, pretty much, 40 helpers. I mean, that is just a match made in heaven for that line. We'll check out the stats here after the game against the Avalanche. Let's go Colorado Avalanche. Let's go Nathan McKinnon. Light him up, buddy. first period. 1-0 Nikolai Ehlers, period number 2. 3-0 Skapski and Solani, and the third period 4-1 Hurdle and Parenteau. Nothing from the ex-players, nothing from Mark Scheifele, and nothing from the kid Nathan MacKinnon, unfortunately. But where are we doing for stats? So Edmonton acquired David Backes for a prospect goalie, a second-round pick, and another prospect. Holy, that's a big deal. That's a huge trade. Points, we are 72 points. We're like third in the NHL. We're doing okay. We're definitely doing all right. McKinnon's top 10 in goals. That's wicked. Rhea is number 4 with 44 assists. Points, unfortunately, we're not quite up there yet. Wins, number 1. Goals against average, we are now number 8. And save percentage, we are now number 6. So we've definitely picked our game up for sure. I want to check out how everyone's doing. We'll probably do this one more time at the end of the year. But as for right now, I'm happy with where the team's at. Obviously, I think we're like third in the NHL, so that's not too bad at all. I'm probably going to get the whole thing done, though. We're going to get one video, one complete simulation. Nathan MacKinnon, that's what I'm talking about. 54 points in 53 games. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Korea and Forsberg, almost all point-a-game players. Philip Forsberg's having an excellent year with 50 points in 53 games. Timu falling a little bit behind. Not really, though. Almost a point-a-game player. Jay Money, 43. Palat's got 42. D'Angelo, Trouba, all of these guys. Scott Lawton, Alexiak, Skapski, Marcus Kruger, 17 points. Anyone a minus player? Nobody's a minus player, which is really, really nice to see. Rookie goalies, no one. Rookie skaters, no one. Goalies, it's all about Eric Comrie. McCullum's played 10 games. No shutouts for him. Comrie's 27, 9, and 5 with 4 shutouts. What I want to do here is go to Colorado and just have a look-see at how Mark Scheifele is doing on his new squad. Where is he? Colorado. Look at Mark Scheifele. Only 26 points. Only 26 points. So, I mean, you can... I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. They don't look like they're having a good year at all. Look at all the talent they have. Forsberg, Duchesne, Landeskog, Barry, Mark Scheifele, O'Reilly. Just nothing is going right for these guys at all. They're having a terrible year. Maybe they don't have maybe their goalie, like Varlamov, just playing like crap. Colorado is in the dump right now, not playing good at all. But we're playing good. I'm going to hang on to what we have right now. 32, 13, and 8. Not a bad record at all. 28 goals from Nathan MacKinnon. Let's get to 30 here, buddy. Let's get to 30 against Nashville, against Radulov. 2-goal performance in MacKinnon. Let's go. Oh, I lose 3-2. No points from Korea or MacKinnon here. Up against Columbus, who is actually a team I was also going to do for this GM mode, but I chose Winnipeg instead, so we could definitely go to Columbus as well. They have a lot of prospects, and they have a lot of key players that could be unreal in like 3 or 4 years, like Johansson, Ryan Murray, Oscar Dansk. Looks like they're doing pretty good in Columbus there. Chicago is a team I'm definitely not going to do 100%, so if you ask me to do Chicago, I probably will not be doing the Chicago Blackhawks because they're already basically a dynasty right now. They have a chance at winning the cup for this year. I mean, they're just such a sick team. Kane, Tays, Hossa, Sharp. It's just unfair, the talent that they have over there in Chicago. The Windy City is very, very lucky to have the players that they have. Some teams don't even have one All-Star, and they have like 4 or 5. It's just ridiculous. St. Louis is a possible team as well. Tarasenko. I think every single team except for obviously the Winnipeg Jets, the Toronto Maple Leafs, Chicago Blackhawks, and the Detroit Red Wings are kind of available. I would pretty much do all of them. The Islanders are another one. I think every team, like I mentioned earlier, has its positive and has its negatives, but I will keep an open mind for you guys to just spam the comment section down below with what you think should happen for next GM mode. I do want to have trade rules though, and I will go over that in more depth of what we can do and what we cannot do. What's up with Nathan MacKinnon though? Hasn't hit 30 goals yet, and it's been like been like 10 games since he had 28. Oh, didn't do it against his old team either. We're just going to skip over the trade deadline, not even look at it. Just continue on our merry way. 38, 16, and 9. I'm happy with it. Let's just continue. Get over it. We're not making any moves. We'll have a look to see what happened around the NHL. If anything, a couple moves it looks like. I guess Colorado acquired Mark Mathot for some random. Washington acquired Jamie McGinnon, a third for a goalie, it looks like. And then Chris Versteeg and Colton Sevier for Carl Lutz, I guess. So let's listen to this one here against the New York Islanders. Period number 1, 0-0-2, 1-1. Nathan McKinnon gets a shorthanded one. Tavares, 3-3. Morrissey. Tavares got 2 goals. And Jamie Alexiak, of all people, the big defenseman, scores a big goal in OT. That is a guy you would not expect to score. That is like 3rd goal. That might have been his 3rd goal of the whole year. Yeah, goal number 3 of the whole year. Saving his goals for some prime times, I guess. This has been a marathon. Holy. Let's just continue here. We'll get our last game done against the Blues, and then this is going to be the last home stretch here. Let's just stack the wins. Let's go for a presidents here, our 3rd straight presidents. McKinnon, that was his 30th goal. I forgot to mention that. Goal number 30 for the kid. There you go. Up against Pittsburgh, Crosby, Lemieux. They have Tristan Jarry in net now. I don't know what happened to Marc-Andre Fleury. 5-4 victory. There you go. Up against the Colorado Avalanche. There you go. McKinnon had a big goal there against his old squad. Up against Calgary. I don't know if I'm going to do Calgary or not. Their team was kind of up in the air for me. It would be kind of fun to do, but I don't know if I'd really enjoy it that much. I think I'm going to end up doing a team probably around the lines of like Florida. Maybe I'll do San Jose. They could use a really big rebuild. Maybe even Carolina. I want a team that's not completely in the dumps like Buffalo, obviously, or Edmonton. But I do want a team that has the pieces in place. Like Florida definitely has the pieces in place. Columbus has the pieces in place. Vancouver, yes, I could possibly do the Vancouver Canucks. That would be very interesting, actually. Sharks would be pretty interesting. I made Owen Nolan their legend. Looks like he did very, very well. I saw him as an all-star pretty much every single year. Up against the Ducks here, we're definitely not going to do the Ducks because we did the Ducks a little while ago, and that was a lot of fun to do. We had Blake Clark. If you guys remember, the young captain Blake Clark, he was a beast. 40-29 for the Arizona Coyotes, 6-2 victory up against the LA Kings. Come on, let's keep the streak alive. 5-3 loss. 45-19-10 is our record. Not terrible. Definitely going to be a playoff team. Might hit 50 wins once again. Up against Steven Stamkos, Kucherov, and Bishop. 6-1 loss. Ouch. See, that was one trade that I regret the most, was trading Andrew Ladd for Alex DeAngelo. Although DeAngelo is sick, I feel like Andrew Ladd really could have helped us out where we needed him, where we didn't have the top 6 scoring that we have now. That was a trade that I regret. If I could go back, I would make that one trade over again, because DeAngelo isn't really a necessary piece for our team, because we have the offensive defensemen available, like obviously Jay Money, and we had like the Tyler Myers and stuff like that. So we have... That was kind of a trade that I wish I could go back and redo, but what's done is done. Oh, whoops, I just ignored my scout. Sorry, buddy. We only have 3 more games left. 3 more games. Can we hit 50 wins? 3 more games, 47 wins. Can we do it? Up against the Dallas Stars, Jamie Benn, let's go. First period, 0-0. Period number 2, 1-0. There he is, Jamie Benn. Just talked about him, and he scores a big goal on us. Come on, power play. Come on. They have Jack Campbell in there. I think he's their goalie now after Kari Lehtinen got a little bit too old, 6 years in. Come on, guys. There you go. Paul Correa. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, they do have Jack Campbell in the cage. Come on, let's get to 50, guys. Get a big victory. Oh, no. Mike Modano, the legend, ends it for us. And unfortunately, we're not going to hit 50 wins in our last year. That was Ben's 38th goal and Korea's 19th. All right, so let's just get these last 2 games done here. Up against 99 Radulov. Oh my God. Seguin has 54 goals. Oh my Jesus. That guy just loves to score goals. 96 overall, and the dude just absolutely kills it. What a machine. Nashville, 99 overall Radulov. Come on, McKinnon. Score a hattie here. There you go. Gets 2 goals. Not quite a hattie, but he got 2, so I'm all right with that. Let's get another 2 and hit 40 goals. That would would make me look like an absolute genius. Come on, let's go. Here we go. First period. 1-1. We got Paul Kariya and Vladimir Tarasenko. Period number 2. Okay, 1-1. Oh, come on, McKinnon. 2 big goals here, buddy. 2 big goals. That's all I ask for you. You've held the team on your back goal scoring wise all year. What's 2 more goals? Oh, it's Schwartz. Jaden Schwartz. Come on. 10, 9, 8. Come on. At least get 1 victory out of this. Oh, no. We're going to lose here. Oh, D'Angelo gets 1. Oh, shit. Skapski comes right back. We have all the momentum. OT. Come on. Oh, Shattenkirk, you bastard. You ruined our last game. We had 45 shots, but Jake Allen stops 42 of those pucks. Didn't even get a star. Wow. All right, so that's going to be the last game here. 1 more win and the Jets call themselves Western Conference champions. Unfortunately, didn't quite happen. Let's do a complete review here of the year. We'll see who we're going to face in the playoffs in a little while. But points-wise, honestly, I don't think we won the Presidents. 100, yeah, we were 1 point shy from winning the Pres. Well, actually 2 points shy, but Washington had the 1 more point. Stamkos had 55 goals. Seguin had 54. Tavares had 52. Lots of goals being scored in the NHL. Assists were number 2 with 74, only 1 point out from Mike Bossy. Points wise, we are not up there. No one hit 95 or more points. Wins were number 1. Goals against and stuff were not even up there. So let's do a quick little review. Our AHL team was absolutely brutal, but stats wise, player stats for the season. What I want to do for the next GM though is even like look at my power play stats and something that I should be doing now, but like trying to improve my power play. I'm literally going to do everything to 100%. So it's going to be a full playthrough of a GM mode. But Paul Kariya had 94 points. There you go. Attaboy Kariya. 94 points, point a game. Nathan McKinnon had 82, so he matched his point total for last year, but the difference was he was plus 30 as opposed from minus 2. So Timo Solani had 81, almost a point a game, but he just has to disappoint me just like that. But I mean, what am I upset about? He's almost a point a game player for his NHL career. He's a playoff performer, 49 points in 57 games. He's an absolute beast. There he is. Jay Money, 71 points. Didn't quite hit the 75 point total from last year, but another 30 goal year for the kid. He's going to be amazing. Philip Forsberg had a huge year, 70 points as a career year for the kid. Andre Palat, he had 54 points. That's his most points in a few years. That's great. D'Angelo had 53 points. That's a career high. Hurdle only had 44. That's pretty much what you get out of Thomas Hurdle. 20 goals, 25 helpers, 40 to 50 points. Our young captain, Trouba, 39 points. Andrew Shaw, Scott Lawton, Bjorkstrand, Stahl, Ehlers, Kruger, Skapski, Milosh. All of those guys are rounding out your team. Goaltenders, obviously, Eric Comrie led the way with 4 shutouts, 41 victories, and McCullum went 7-6 in his time. So let's check out everything else here. Rookie goalies. Check out the rookie skaters here. It looks like this Nathan Lucen guy going to take home the Calder. Look at his slap shot power, 98. Jesus. Rivet, Jim Spencer, Baldwin. All of these guys are your rookies. Carlson, Ethan Price was the guy that we got rid of in the deal to get Nathan McKinnon as an 80 overall. He almost had 15 goals. That's good for them. McKenzie, rookie goalies. Check a look, see if anyone's here. Whitney, no. There you go. So let's do one last check here. One final review of every single legend and what the team looks like and how they did points wise. So obviously the Washington Capitals have Peter Bondra. He ended up being 92 overall and he is almost a point a game player as well. Let's check out Vancouver. They had Pavel Bure. He finished at 93 overall and he is more than a point a game player for the Vancouver Canucks, so that's awesome. Toronto had who did they have? They had Matt Sundin, and Matt Sundin is 27 goals there, 82 points. He finished to be much more than a point-a-game player. Holy crap, he did excellent in his time in Toronto. Tampa Bay actually does not have a legend right now. They did have, look at their team though, holy shit. They did have Vinny Prospel, but they ended up trading him. St. Louis actually has 2 legends. They have Keith Tkachuk, who finished to be 90. Wasn't quite a point-a-game player, was still really respectable. Brett Hall, not quite a point-a-game player either. They have 2 legends though. though. San Jose had Owen Nolan, 92. He's not quite a point-a-game player. Pittsburgh obviously had Lemieux, 98. So I was wrong. He did progress quite a bit. 500 points in 492 NHL games. So that's crazy. That is well deserved from Mario Lemieux. For the Philadelphia Flyers, he finished with 466 in 492. Very, very respectable. All of these guys are very, very respectable. Yashin, almost 450 points. Messier, he was a big 422. I do want to check out this Boynton guy. He was the first overall pick, and he was a really high overall pick, and I know he's like 83 coming out of the draft, but he's looking pretty good, 85 overall. And the Islanders had Mike Bossy, and he is just over a point a game, 493 as opposed to 492, so he just got it there. What a beast. Vinny Prospel went to, obviously, the New Jersey Devils in free agency, and he has 397 and 492, but for a 94 overall, that is really impressive. Matthew Barzil got pretty good for them. Scott Stevens, 92 overall, almost 100 goals. He turned out to be really great. It looks like the Devils weren't the best of teams. They're always in the minus there. But Nashville, obviously, one of the players who progressed the best, Radulov, 99 overall. And he is just a point-a-game player. 492 in 492. That's pretty incredible. Belvo, 93. He was exactly what I kept him as. He absolutely killed it. Holy crap. 437 in 492. What do we got here? Who did the Minnesota Wild get? They got a goalie. They obviously got Manny Fernandez, and he finished at 91 overall, 254 games and 136 wins. He played great for the Minnesota Wild. He was a huge problem for us in the playoffs. He was just the worst. He just absolutely killed it year in and year out. Rob Blake, 94 overall. He finished with 337 points. That was very, very respectable for a defenseman. We got Florida, who has Scott Mellenby, who progressed pretty well. He had 451. He was like 86 overall, and he progressed all the way to a 91. This is just kind of a look for next GM mode as well. If you guys want to take a look at how players progress, come year 6, you guys can let me know on that in the comments. But Edmonton obviously had Wayne Gretzky. He's 98 overall, and he finished with well over a point a game. What a monster. Detroit has Connor McDavid, and they also have Nicholas Lidstrom. He didn't actually progress at all, but he had a very respectable 359 career points. Tyler Seguin, holy shit, what a machine. Look at his past 3 years. Like, that is just not even fair. Mike Modano finished at a 92 and not quite a point a game player. Columbus has David Vaborny. He progressed very, very well. He was only at like an 85, and he got up to like a 93. So it's kind of cool to see what players progressed, what players did not progress. Colorado, obviously, they had Peter Forsberg, 396 and 492, not the greatest. Just to look here, Mark Scheifele had 44 points coming over to the Colorado Avalanche. So Chicago actually has Bobby Hall, and he finished with 392. It's kind of cool to see what players progressed, what players really decided to step up, and what players absolutely didn't do anything. Carolina had Ron Francis. He progressed pretty well. He was only like 89, and he finished almost a point a game. Calgary had Theo Fleury, 90 overall, and he finished with 399, so not that great. Look at the penalty minutes on him, though, just like Theo Fleury in real life, 150. Holy cow, I must have made his discipline just terrible. 65, yeah, not very good at all. Buffalo finished with their goalie. They had Dominic Hasek, and he is 95 overall, 310 games played, 165 career victories for the Dominator. The Bruins had, they have a couple of Bergerons here. They obviously had Bobby Orr, and almost a point a game, 93 overall. What a machine. Arizona, we're coming to a close here. Arizona, they don't even have a legend. They traded their legend to the Blues, to Keith Tkachuk. And Anaheim obviously had Paul Kariya, but we stole him in free agency. And now a final look here at your Winnipeg Jets legends. Paul Kariya, 93 overall, well over a point a game player, 515. I mean, he had 3 years in Winnipeg, 3 out of the 6 years that we were here. Nathan McKinnon, I don't know why I'm looking at him. Rigo Timu had almost a point a game, 472. 2022. At times, we thought Timu wasn't going to get it done. He's a fan favorite here. Everybody loves him. Timu is a absolute beast. So there it is, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming on this ride. It's been up, it's been down, it's been a little bit of everything, but this is going to be our last year. I've made a decision, and holy, do we have our work cut out for us here. Round number 1, we have Tyler Seguin, Jamie Benn. It's going to be good. So stay tuned, guys, for the playoffs. We'll probably do it all in one video as well. It'll probably be out the next day after you see this. So keep on checking back. Thank you for watching. Let me see lots of ideas down there for the next GM mode, and I'll see you guys then.